Don't know how long I'm going to do this one. This whole thing with Jeffrey Epstein is just getting fascinating. It's going to be fun. It's going to get just crazy. Go to the description. Check out the link to my blog. Read all about the shit between Gabe Hoffman and I. Gabe, since you're this huge advocate for child trafficking victims, and you brought down Brian Singer, that's what's in your emails. Of course, now that this Jeffrey Epstein thing has come out, I bet you have all kinds of information that you can share, right? Since you're so entwined in all of this and know so much and you're like this super advocate, I bet you could go to authorities and bring a whole lot of clarity to this Jeffrey Epstein thing. So my question is, why are you not doing that, but instead you're focusing on some dude with a tiny little YouTube station? Because now that they didn't feed my numbers last time, I don't even get 300 views. But yet you're sending me email after email. Fuck, you're as bad as Thomas Schoenberger, you know? And anyone can look at that picture of Isaac Kappy and see that dude is not alive on that bridge. In fact, what I was told was he wasn't even on that bridge. He was photoshopped. That picture is photoshopped. But you can tell that dude is not alive. You can tell he's not alive, you know? But regardless, all of these rich, elite men who are involved with Jeffrey Epstein, and you're like this super advocate, I bet you have all kinds of names you can give the police, media, investigators. I bet you know everything. You're the super advocate, right? So why don't you do that and prove me wrong? Instead of sending me cease and desist fucking letters every fucking day over and over and over and over. Okay, I'm not a fucking lizard person, which is what they're also now saying. I'm not a lizard person. It's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. The dumbest thing. See my pupils? Do they look like I'm a lizard person? The stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. If that's now their new argument against me, oh my God. What's next? Am I a fucking alien from outer space, dickhead? You know? It's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. And yes, there are videos out there saying that I am a lizard person. I tell you what, I don't need to read the stuff. I'll let you see my eyes right now. I don't need to watch this whole thing. They're calling me a shapeshifter. That's what these dumbasses are like. This is what they think. Don't listen to what I have to say about child trafficking because I'm a lizard person. That's their argument, you know? Oh my God. They're just as dumb as fuck. They're just as dumb as fuck. Oh, and Shayla V, your email in the middle of the thing. Why am I getting so angry? Well, I don't know. Maybe because I'm under attack. Maybe because they've murdered my friends. They break into my house over and over and over. And now I have that. You know, now I have you guys in here saying that I'm a lizard. And why? Because you guys are all trying to hide your fucking pedophile ring. Because now this shit with fucking Jeffrey Epstein, now it's getting crazy. Now it's getting crazy. You know? And you're all fucking scared. The fact that you're actually now trying to insinuate that I'm a lizard person is just beyond the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. The cool thing about it is that there's several people in town now who have actually come up to me who saw that video that was done of my deputies hanging those fucking signs downtown. Isn't it interesting how Tara Joyce and Geo Farnsworth and all of that stuff, it's not the first time they've come to my sheriff's defense. The Earling, Iowa gas station explosion. Fuck, Tara Joyce was going on and on and on about how it was one explosion and you can trust my police. And why? Because they're working with my sheriff. That's why. But there are several people in town who saw that video on Facebook And because he used the N-word over and over and over, they took his Facebook account down. So there's no accessing it unless you're law enforcement, you know? Unless you're law enforcement, you know? U.S. Marshals, I bet, can access that shit. So why is my sheriff sending out his deputies falsely accusing me of being a pedophile with my address on it? Why? Because they're hoping that they can send someone to my house and hurt me. That's why that whole situation went down. Go look. I have a brand new sign out in my yard. Just painted this morning. Just painted this morning. And so go check it out. Because what they're trying to do is hide their meth operation while they protect the real pedos. You know? The real pedophiles. The ones that Isaac Kappy was trying to expose. The one Lori King was trying to expose. Max Spears. Tracy Twyman. The list goes on and on and on. The shit they're doing to me is just the same shit as they did to them. It's just that I'm a bit more vocal about it. You know? A bit more vocal about it. But as far as Shayla V going, you know, you talk about filling your heart with love, but you swear and you're angry all the time. What part about the fact that I've told you that my place right now is the antithesis of Jesus Christ. The exact opposite. I could not give a shit about love and redemption for this group. I'm all about accountability and retribution. What part do you get that I am not Jesus Christ? I'm not the second coming of Jesus Christ. That's your orange pedophile Jesus, remember? Isn't he supposed to be your second coming? The orange pedophile Jesus, the one that now everybody knows is a pedophile. It's too funny. See how that shit works? And Elon Musk is going after Donald Trump, and yet Elon Musk has as many fucking pictures with Maxwell that Trump has with Epstein. You know? It's funny how it's working. I told you, in the end, they would all throw themselves under the bus. Under the bus. There is no more hiding. There's no more hiding. Everything that's been hidden in the dark is getting brought out into the light. Just like we were promised. Just like we were promised. It's just scripture fulfilling itself. And so, that's how this shit's gonna work. You know? That's how this shit's gonna work. It's all gonna be brought out into the light. But Gabe Hoffman, since you're such this fucking super advocate, you were the one who brought Bryan Singer down. I bet you know all about the shit that Isaac Kappy did. Of course, Isaac Kappy was calling you out right before you had all of his shit pulled out. I'm not going to argue whether or not I'm a lizard person. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to argue it. It's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. I'm not doing it. You know? I'm not going to get distracted from what it is. It's not about me being a lizard person. It's about rich motherfucking pedophiles who are fucking kids. And in town here, it's about my sheriff who's helping the pedophiles because they want to protect their meth operation that everyone in town knows about. You know? So Geo Farnsworth comes to you know, the defense. I will say about that whole video, it flushed out people that it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. And so, but I warned those people from the very beginning. You don't want to play with me. You don't want to play with me because you won't like what happens in the end. They went out to break my heart and they fucking succeeded. Oh, you succeeded. You broke my heart. Broke my heart. And now the darkness is going to come and rip the fuck out of yours. That's how this shit's going to work. Get ready. get ready. The shit that I was trained to do with the Kino and all those fucking devil lovers when I was in Hummel Park and off at Air Force Base, I didn't get taught a lot about love. I didn't get taught a lot about empathy and compassion. I didn't get taught about any of that shit. So why would you think I would use any of that I was trained to do? You know? But you always think you're so much smarter than I am. And you're able to dupe me. And for a while, because I wanted to be duped. I wanted to be duped. Now, I'm not duped. And you broke my heart. You sure the fuck did. You did. And you tried to set me up. Tried hard. Almost had me. Heaven fucked it up, though. Heaven always fucks it up. In the end, heaven always fucks it up. I always get shown. But with that said, you guys want to see some show and tell? I made a new bag. This is a high-end bag. Isn't this pretty? This is the thing, you know? This is the bag, and this is the back of the bag. And then you open it up, and this is the one bag. And then you open it up inside, and it has 4 pockets. 2 there, and 2 here. Right there. Someone in town was walking in the square and actually caught Neil Gross, 3 of Neil Gross's deputies, handing out those flyers. And then I was told, don't show the video to anybody. And then this weekend, I was going to be given something I would have never made it home, I bet. Would have never made it fucking home. Broke my heart. And now, like I promised, I'm going to respond. Already have. But this is what I worked on. See, you can't be angry all the time and do this shit. You know? You can't be angry. And this is a high end, because as you can see, I quilted the whole thing. Quilted the whole thing. Quilted this. You know, this is beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it just amazing? This is one of the most amazing bags I ever fucking made. You ain't gonna like what's coming for you. You ain't gonna like it. I've had enough. When Isaac Kappy died, they surrounded him. All of his friends were them. When Isaac Kappy died, because they inundate you. They become your friends, they become your confidants, but it's them. And look at what happened to Isaac. Same thing with Max Spears. Same thing. The game never changes. The game never changes. This one is fairly expensive because it took me 2 weeks. So I'm looking at, I don't know, $5 and a quarter, unfortunately, for that one. I'm making cheaper ones that are kind of the same. But this one should have never broke my heart. Broke my heart. But the jig is up. And the video, I'll take 2, please. David at davidshurter.com. If you guys want me to make you a bag, they're not cheap because they're handmade. And it takes me a while to make them. So they're not cheap. You know? The cheaper ones that I just throw together are, I want to charge $3.25. Someone in Omaha is making bags that aren't even half this nice, and they're charging uber amounts of money, $600 for one. I can make two that are identical. And so now you're going to act like you're fucking Geo Farnsworth. Texting me. I'm not playing this game. The fact that you told me, you know, when I sliced the shit out of my hand, I knew something was wrong. But then going out and telling me that you didn't want me to share that video, because I was going to get that video, I made the mistake of saying something before I got the video. And the sheriff's department would have targeted him. But now I don't have to work. I didn't make the shirt. I bought this shirt at Goodwill. But he told me that he put it on his Facebook account and they took his Facebook account down. So it's easily accessible to the U.S. Marshals and other law enforcement. They can easily subpoena it because Facebook still has it. They caught the sheriff, 3 sheriffs, hanging those flyers around town with my address on it, calling me a pedophile, you know? And everybody wanted, it's, I'm just, broke my heart. Broke my fucking heart. Oh my God, broke my heart. Been in the worst mood the last few days. But it was meant for something even greater. They were going to do much more than just break my heart. That was just part of it. And I'm aware now. Heaven was trying to make me aware. But I kept poo-pooing it and dismissing it because I didn't want it to be true. You know? Sandy, you'd best mind your P's and Q's. I'm not putting up with anything anymore. And so, the fact that I have to argue that I'm not a fucking lizard, again, you're gonna be Geo Farnsworth. You're exactly, and the fact that you were a fucking caregiver, taking care of an older woman, your group knew how that would affect me because I took care of my mom. Now I see it so clearly. Now I see it so fucking clearly. So I'm gonna make an example out of you. And okay, Smokey, she does have a point. When you call yourself Smokey the Clown, they are gonna wonder, you know. I'm not gonna put up with it. Fucking ripped my heart out. And now I want to pretend you're the victim. I'm just... And that's how it always works, isn't it? Isn't that how it always works? When you call them out, they always play the victim card. Always fucking play the victim card. Always play the victim card. But the reason why I'm still here is because heaven wants me to know. You know? Heaven wants me to know. Always does. I knew something was wrong when I sliced the fuck out of my hand. I've never done that before. And even at the time, it felt like heaven or the Holy Spirit or whatever pushed my hand in front of that fucking blade. because I needed to see. But it's almost all healed. I heal fast. Broke my heart. Still not over it. Still upset about it. Probably for a while. I had people in town who saw that video of the deputies. The reason why Facebook took it down is because they used the N-word a lot. But it was the N-word, but it didn't end with R, it ended with A. But still, you can't do that. You know? They weren't being racist, but Facebook didn't want to take the chance. And for me, it's the best fucking thing, because now it's protected. It's at an account that nobody can touch. The U.S. Marshals can. FBI can. They can see it. Why the fuck are my sheriff deputies going around town hanging a fucking picture of me with my address on it, calling me a fucking pedophile? Because they're hoping that someone actually wants to come and shoot me in my own fucking house. That's the whole plan. That's the reason why Gabe Hoffman just keeps sending emails with Neil and Chad Butler. Neil Gross, same fucking thing that Thomas did. The game never fucking changes. The game never changes. It's always the fucking same. Over and over and over. But it's like 1,000,000 degrees out here. It's hot. It stormed last night, and now the sun has come out and the humidity, but you just got to go check out my new sign. You know? And there are a lot of people who actually saw that video on Facebook before they took it down. You know? They saw it. And so it's not like in town, and the whole meth operation that Neil's involved with, but they're working with the sheriff's office. But then what I've heard is that this group works with a lot of sheriff's offices. That's the reason why the sheriff owns the whole county. They are the law enforcement for the whole county. But what happens when your sheriff is bad? They're fucking running meth and protecting pedophiles and trying to get me hurt because I'm trying to expose the shit. You know? And all this group has is now they're running around telling people I'm a fucking lizard guy. A lizard person. You know? Dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. Okay. I think people will be way more concerned about this fucking pedophile ring than they are that I'm a lizard person. You know? If I was a lizard person, I wouldn't be sweating like a pig out here in the heat. You know? Anyway, I'm going to pray. It doesn't help that I'm fucking broke and starving. If anybody wants to buy a book, this is the book. $30. You know, unless you're in Harlan, then just hit me up. I make a deal, because if I don't have to mail it, I don't charge full price. You know, tell me where I'm sending it, who I'm inscribing it to. PayPal and Venmo is just D Shurter. My blog is davidshurter.com. You guys can reach me at david@davidshurter.com. You know? I'm not going to do what Isaac Kappy did. They're not going to inundate me with fucking people that fucking act like my friend and are going out of their way to slit my throat. Same fucking thing they did to Max Spears. Same thing they did to Lori King. Same thing. And so It's just, Smokey, you're working. Let me pray, and then I'm just going to get off of here. I don't really feel like doing this, and I'm not going to get... Fuck. I'm not going to have text after text after text. Broke my fucking heart. And now want to come at me. You know? Because I fucking cared about you. You just don't have a clue. I don't like to be jerked around like that at all. And it's happened a lot with this group. It's happened a lot with this group. And they're in here always. They're on top of me. Because they're trying to protect their fucking pedophile ring. Because this whole thing with Epstein, it's funny how Trump and Epstein are, or Trump and Musk, Elon Musk, are both acting crazy. You know? Smokey, you're good. They're in here. Trying to distract. Pissed off that their little fucking... I didn't end up in jail. Tried. Didn't work. But their intent still matters to the dark. Still counts. Still counts. I'm not gonna like how it's returned. Heaven, I come to you. I'm sick of this fight. I'm sick of having to be an asshole. But because you have me here and you require it, asshole it is. You know? I'm sick and tired of dealing with this group. I just want them claimed by the dark. I want them to suffer their own shit. The shit that they are okay with happening with those kids, let it happen to them. For an eternity. For an eternity. Let it happen. And let it begin with me, I guess. You know? Let me. You want me to send out the dark? I hate doing it. It's not loving. It's not compassionate. In fact, just the opposite, and it sucks. But I'll do it because you asked me to. But for everyone else, the teachings of Jesus Christ will save you. Fill your hearts with love. Fill your hearts with love. Love God, love everyone else, and act accordingly. And fuck these pedophiles. Literally and figuratively. And all those who would fucking protect them. And I say these things with full conviction. In your son's name, Jesus Christ. Amen. You know? Do I look blind? Oh my God. So, with that said, this week has sucked. It has sucked. It hasn't been all bad, because I found out about that video. And I found out who was distributing those videos. I know who was in front of my house. The dude who owns that white truck, we'll just call him Levi, went to prison for manufacturing child porn. So, him calling anybody a fucking pedophile is kind of hard to take. Along with the bitch that lost their kids because they're a meth head. You know? But they're all working with the police department, the sheriff's department. Because the sheriff's department, there's a video out there. And U.S. Marshals, like I said, are going to be able to find that video, and they're going to wonder why Neil Gross's, the sheriff, Shelby County, Iowa Sheriff Neil Gross, his deputies are hanging signs all over town calling me a pedophile and putting my address on there so that they can send people to my house. but I'm not on any registry. I've never been convicted. This whole pedophile thing is bullshit. I'm not a pedophile. Don't have any history, nothing. Not on any registry, not on any list. Never have gotten in trouble. The thought, like most people, fucking disgusts me. Disgusts me. But boy, they sure are into protecting their little fucking pedophiles, aren't they? Especially their orange pedophile Jesus, right? You know? Can't quote the Bible, but sure is hanging out with a lot of fucking pedophiles. And a lot of kids. The pictures that are coming out. A lot of kids. Young kids. You know? But you're right. You go fight for them. But the people who are trying to expose it, we're just, mere entertainment? You know? When they take us out, it's funny? Anybody that sees that fucking picture of Isaac Kappy on that bridge, you can see he's not alive. Any moron can see that he's not alive. And when have you ever heard that a suicide has a deluxe 2 CD set to go along with their fucking suicide? You know? Someone who's trying to convince them real hard. Like Gabe Hoffman's email to me today. Isaac committed suicide. It was open, blah, 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 blah. Well, dude, you're the fucking child advocate. You're the know-it-all. And now they're coming up with Epstein. I bet you have a lot of information. I think the U.S. Marshals should come visit you and find out what you know. Because you're telling me how you're a fucking... You know everything. So please, I'm sure law enforcement would appreciate any help that you're going to give them. Not Neil. Neil's too busy hanging out fucking flyers trying to get someone to show up at my house and kill me. To shut me up. And dumb enough to get fucking filmed by people. You know? Dumb enough to be filmed by someone. Fucking dumbass. Dumbass. But they're not bright. Probably busy doing meth. You know? But with it said, this is done. I'll be back on Tuesday. 11 o'clock. As bad as everything is right now, I'll still keep a schedule. Keep checking my blog because I post shit almost every day now. You know? Every day. And so... I just want to get off here. Shut my phone off. So I don't have to read any text. Had no idea the depth of my feelings until I realized. Had no idea. Really, really, really cared. Right in the fucking heart. So I'll return the favor.